So this is a sequence and series question. So we're trying to find the value of the 10th term. That's our final goal. So term 10, okay? And to do that, we're just going to use the generic formula for arithmetic series, which is just the first term plus the difference times n minus 1. So in this case, that's going to be 10. So we're just going to have the first term plus the difference between each term times 9. Okay, so that's what we're going to use at the end, but we're going to have to work out what a and d are. So to find those two variables, we're going to have to use the facts that they told us in this question, and those facts are as follows. The fifth term, T5, is equal to 1200. Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. I got that wrong. It was just 200. And the sum of the first four terms, so let's say sum 4, is equal to 1200. Okay, so now we need to give these two equations with variables a and d so that we can solve for a and d, and then we can substitute them back into this term 10, which is that final part of like the actual question. That's what the actual question is asking for, the value of the 10th term. All right, so I'm just going to pan over a bit so I got a little bit more room over here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to ascribe two equations to T5, and we're going to ascribe the other equation to S4. Okay, so T5 is just A, similar to the way we did T10. It's just the first term plus the difference between each consecutive term times n minus 1, and n is just 5, so we're going to get 4 there. Okay, so there's our first equation, 200 equals a plus 4d. Now for the second equation, we can just manually sub up all the terms. So we're going to have the first term, which is just going to be a. We're going to have the second term, which is just going to be a plus the difference. We have the third term, which is going to be a plus twice the difference. And lucky last, a plus 3 times the difference. Okay, so let's just simplify that out. We've got 4 a's, we've got 1, 2, 3, 6 d's. Okay, so let's just write out those two equations. Again, 200 is equal to a plus 4d. I'm going to simplify that, just make it a bit easier for us, put a on its own. So a is equal to 200 minus 4d. And the other one, which is this one here, 1200 is equal to 4a plus 6d. Okay, so I'm just going to label these. This one here, let's call this 1. I'm going to call this one 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub 1 into 2. Because we've got two unknowns and two equations, we know we can solve this. So again, let's just give ourselves a bit of room and let's get started. So this is equation 2, and instead of a, I'm going to write what equation 1 has for a, which is 200 minus 4d. Okay, let's just expand the brackets. We get 800 minus 4 times 4, 16d plus 6d. So move the numbers to one side. We get 400 is equal to 10d. Oh, sorry, negative 10d. d is therefore just negative 40. Okay, so now what we can do is we can sub d equals negative 40 back into a. So a is therefore going to equal 200 minus 4 times negative 40, which is just 200 minus 1600 plus 1600, which just gives us 360 for a. Okay, so now we've got to go back to our original equation, what we thought about initially, which was finding this T10. That's what the question's actually asking for. So let's sub in those values. So A was 360, and D was negative 40. So now we can just sub that all together. 360 minus 40 times 9, that's just going to be 360. So what we actually get at T6 is going to be 0. So there you have it. That's the final answer. Took us a little bit. It's a bit messy, but have a look and hopefully it'll make sense.
Snack is an online platform to instantly create and share videos just like this one. To watch more or try a hand at making your own, head over to snackapp.io.